Good evening, all of you. I hope you all are doing well. And today in this session, we're going to study the current affairs from November 11 to 2021. Okay, we have divided the current affairs into different sections. We studied one by one. Okay, let's start the session. Our first section is banking and economy news. Okay, so am I audible to you guys? Once again, am I audible? Okay. So first section, we're going to study banking and economy news. So in that first issue is RBI introduced the internal ombudsman mechanism for following two types of non-banking financial companies. Okay. So before going into this issue, we need to understand two things. So one is you need to understand about the ombudsman. Okay. So who is this person, ombudsman? So another thing is, so what are the different types of NBFCs are there in India? Okay, we have already know what is NBFC. NBFC is nothing but non-banking financial company. Okay, then in that there are two types of NBFCs are there. So one is deposit taking NBFC. So those are called as NBFCs D. Okay, so D means deposit taking NBFC. So another one is NBFCs ND. So ND means non-deposit taking NBFC. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So in the non-banking finance companies, there are two different companies are there, organizations are there. One is deposit taking NBFC, another one is non-deposit taking NBFCs. Okay, so after that, we need to understand what is this ombudsman? Who is this person? See, ombudsman is nothing but he is one kind of official, okay, official person appointed to investigate the individual's complaints against the any company or any organization. Okay, so that person is called as ombudsman, like a third party, or you can say official or a authority who will look after the complaints of the customers. So that person is called as ombudsman. So let's move on to the issue. So recently what RBI told us, so RBI introduced that internal ombudsman mechanism for these two kinds of NBFCs. Again, they have made the restrictions. Okay, so for deposit taking NBFCs who are having 10 or more branches in India. So for those NBFCs, they must have to have the internal ombudsman. Okay, so what is this ombudsman? What is the work of this ombudsman? Nothing but he will take the complaints from the customer and he try to resolve it. That is the work of ombudsman. Okay, so for the grievance redressal mechanism, so every NBFCs have to have the internal ombudsman. Okay, for deposit taking NBFCs who are having 10 or more branches in India, they must have to have the internal ombudsman. So next is for non-deposit taking NBFCs, they have given the asset size. Okay, so for any NBFC which is having asset size 5,000 crore and above. Okay, so what is the limit? 5,000 crore capital asset or above that. For those NBFCs, they must have to have the internal ombudsman. Okay, so these two kinds of NBFCs have to have the internal ombudsman for their customer grievance redressal mechanism. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. To appoint this NBFC, RBI has given the timeline. What is the timeline? 6 months. So within the 6 months, these two kinds of NBFCs have to have the internal ombudsman mechanism for their customer security purpose. Okay, to hear the any complaints from the customers. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So this is all about this internal ombudsman mechanism issue. So next we move on to the second issue, that is total corpus of Payment Infrastructure Development Fund of RBI reaches the 614 crore rupees. Okay, so before going into this issue, we need to understand what is this Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. By the name only you can understand. Okay, so what is this fund? Payments Infrastructure Development Fund. So this is one key scheme. It is also called as PIDF scheme. So this was announced by the Reserve Bank of India on January 5th, 2021. Okay, so then what is the objective of this Payments Infrastructure Development Fund scheme? By the name only you can understand. Okay, so it is one kind of infrastructure development fund. So may it be digital infrastructure or physical infrastructure. Okay, so such kind of infrastructure development fund. Okay, what kind of infrastructure they are trying to develop here? Payments infrastructure. Okay, so then what is the objective? So this scheme was to encourage the deployment of the point of sale infrastructures, both in the physical and digital models in the tier 3 and tier 6 cities of the India, as well as northeastern state. So what are these tier 3 and tier 6 cities that you need to understand? See, these in India, the cities are divided into the different tiers of cities. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Okay, so likewise, many kind of tiers are there. So these tiers are basically dependent on the density of the population. Okay, so like Bangalore, Delhi. So these come in the tier 1 cities list because they have a lot of population density. So when it comes to the lower tiers, then population density will be decreased. For the tier 6 and tier 3 cities, from tier 3 to tier 6 cities, as well as main focus is on the northeastern state because they have the low population density over there. So in such kind of cities, okay, so in such kind of cities, they are trying to develop the payment infrastructure. Okay, so that is point of sale infrastructure. So for that, RBI given the 614 crore rupees fund. Okay, so it is not only given by RBI, different authorities, different entities also contributed to this fund. Okay, so this is all about the payments infrastructure development fund scheme of the RBI. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So remember, so this is for the tier 3 and tier 6 cities. Okay, from it means tier 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so tier 3 to tier 6 cities, as well as main focus is on the northeastern state. And here you need to understand, so what is the management authority of this scheme? Somebody has to manage this, right? Who is the authority to manage this scheme? So there is an advisory council under the chairmanship of RBI Deputy Governor. His name is BP Kanungo. Okay, so under his advisory council, so this scheme will be managed. Okay, so there is one advisory council is there, which is headed by the Deputy Governor of RBI. His name is BP Kanungo. And not only him, many other members are there. You don't have to remember that. So at least you try to remember there is an advisory council. Okay, so under the chairmanship of Deputy Governor, the Deputy Governor of the RBI, his name is BP Kanungo. This has constituted for the managing of PIDF scheme. Okay, so I hope this is clear too. So initially they have started with just 214 crore, I guess. Now it has reached up to the 614 crore rupees. And it has timeline for 3 years. Okay, so in that 3 years, they have to develop the payment infrastructure in the tier 3 to tier 6 cities as well as northeastern states. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So let's move on to the next issue. So HDFC Bank Limited, it launches the second edition of its Muh Band Ke Rakho campaign to raise the awareness on fraud prevention in support of International Fraud Awareness Week 2021. Okay, so remember this campaign. So what is the name of this campaign? Muh Band Ke Rakho. Okay, in examination they're gonna ask. Recently, a campaign has been started. Okay, Muh Band Ke Rakho. It is by the which entity? Okay, so like that the question will come. So remember, it is by the HDFC Bank Limited. Okay, they will give like SBI, SDFC, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank. Okay, like that to make you confused. They will give different options. So remember, this campaign is done by the HDFC Bank. Okay, so initially this Muh Band Ke Rakho campaign was aimed to contribute in the fight against the COVID-19 situation. So by the name only you can understand. Muh Band Ke Rakho means you please shut your mouth like that. Okay, so wear the mask. So initially they aimed at the fight against the COVID-19 situation, but now it has now been extended to the fighting for cyber frauds. Okay, and this is the second year HDFC Bank is participating in this awareness week. Okay, that is the International Fraud Awareness Week. So this International Fraud Awareness Week of 2021 can be seen by from November 14 to 20. Okay, so in that week, Muh Band Ke Rakho campaign started by the HDFC Bank to create the awareness among the customers, to create the awareness among the people about the internet, about the frauds, that is cyber frauds. Okay, so initially it is started because of the COVID-19, but now it has extended up to the cyber frauds. Okay, so that you need to remember. Here, one thing you need to remember, this Muh Band Ke Rakho is launched by the HDFC Bank. That is important. Okay, so next, Paytm Money launches the AI-powered voice trading facility. So what is AI? Anybody let me know in the comment section. What is AI? It's very simple. What is AI? What is AI? It's artificial intelligence. Okay, so remember that. AI means artificial intelligence. So Paytm Money, it has recently launched the artificial intelligence powered voice trading facility for the customers. Okay, so that you need to remember. So next, SIDBI joins hand with the Google for $15 million. So approximately it is 110 crore rupees financial assistance program to help the MSME sector in India. Okay, so MSME, they have recently seen a lot of the losses because of the COVID-19 situation. So because of that, SIDBI Bank, it has joined with the Google. They have given $15 million rupees that financial assistance program to help the MSME sectors in India. Okay, so it will develop our economy directly. Okay, so that is all about this. Next, move on to the national news. Okay, so Odisha government launches the road safety initiative Rakshak to train first responders of road accidents. Okay, so here this scheme or this name is important. That is Rakshak. So in examination, they're directly going to ask Rakshak scheme or Rakshak initiative. It was recently in news. It is done by which government or it is launched by which state? So like that, they will ask. So remember, it is about the Odisha government. Okay. So then Rakshak is related to what? Okay. It is a initiative for the road safety because a lot of road accidents are happening, right? So because of that, the Odisha government took the first step forward and it launched the road safety initiative, that is Rakshak. So in that, they will train the first responders of the road accidents, like how to give the first aid and how to treat the that person and how to take them to the hospital, and many norms and regulations are there. So that is all about the Rakshak. It is launched by the Odisha government. It is for what? What is the purpose of Rakshak? For the road safety. Okay, so that is all about the Rakshak scheme. So next, India observes the 6th Ayurveda Day on 2nd November 2021. So here you need to remember the theme of this day. Okay, so this is our 6th Ayurveda Day. So that is celebrated on the 2nd November 2021. So what is the theme of that? National Ayurveda Day theme is Ayurveda for Poshan. So Poshan means nutrition. Okay, so what is the theme? Ayurveda for Poshan, or you can say Poshana. So both are same. So Ayurveda for Poshana was the theme of the Ayurveda Day. Okay, so remember it is celebrated on 2nd November. Okay, so that is very important. This is our 6th Ayurveda Day. Next, Ramnath Kovind confers the honorary rank of General of Indian Army on Nepal Army Chief General Prabhu Ram Sharma. So this is factual thing. So our Ramnath Kovind president, they confess the honorary rank of General of Indian Army on the Nepal Army Chief General Prabhu Ramnath Sharma. Okay, so next, Telangana's pilgrim site Bhadrachalam added as destination in IRCTCS. So what is IRCTCS? Anybody? What is IRCTCS? Think about it. What is IRCTCS? You might have read in the newspaper. So what is IRCTC? It's very simple. Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporations. Okay. I repeat once again. Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation. So Telangana's pilgrim site, that is Bhadrachalam, recently added to the destination of IRCTCS. Okay, so that you need to remember. So here Bhadrachalam, where it comes, which state, that is important, that is in the Telangana. Okay, next, Ramayana Circuit train Habibganj railway station in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh has been renamed after the 18th century Gond queen of Bhopal. Her name is Rani Kamlapati. Okay, so this Ramayana Circuit train, that name is Habibganj Railway Station. Okay, so Habibganj Railway Station in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. So it got renamed with the name of Rani Kamlapati. She was the 18th century Gond queen of Bhopal. So Gond is a tribe. Okay, so community's name. So that queen, her name is Rani Kamlapati. Okay, so that name is given to the Habibganj Railway Station, which is located in the Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so next, India successfully launches the 41st scientific expedition to Antarctica in November 2021. Okay, so this is the 41st scientific expedition to the Antarctica. Okay, so already lot of the scientific expedition to the Antarctica have happened from the India side. So this is the 41st one. Okay, that you don't need to remember. So you must have to have an idea. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. So Kaiser-e-Hind declared as the Arunachal Pradesh state butterfly. Okay, in examination, directly question will come. Kaiser-e-Hind recently declared as which state's butterfly? So here you need to remember Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so where is the location of Arunachal Pradesh in India? Anybody? Let me know in the comment section which region it will come. Arunachal Pradesh. Which region? Which anybody? Think about it. Okay, so you have to have an idea like what all states are located in which all region. Okay, think about it and let me know in the comment section. Next, India's first grass conservatory, that is Germoplasm Conservation Center. Okay, so Germoplasm Conservation Center, it is inaugurated in the Uttarakhand's Ranikhet. Okay, so this is India's first ever grass conservatory. Okay, so it is recently inaugurated in the Ranikhet, Uttarakhand. Okay, next, India's first fisheries business incubator launched in the Gurugram, Haryana. Okay, so this is India's first ever fisheries business incubator. Okay, so that has been launched in the Gurugram of Haryana. So next, Union Minister Piyush Goyal inaugurates the India's first food museum in Tamil Nadu's Tanjavur. Okay, so you need to remember very important facts. So because these all are India's first, things. First grass conservatory, first fishery business incubator, okay, and first food museum. So very important. So our Union Minister Piyush Goyal recently inaugurated the India's first food museum that is located in the Tamil Nadu, specifically in the Tanjavur. Okay, so that you need to remember. Next, President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates the Adarsh village. Okay, so Adarsh village, that name is Sui in Haryana's Bhiwani. Okay, so remember, Sui is nothing but one Adarsh village. Okay, it is in the Haryana's Bhiwani. Recently, our President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates the Adarsh village Sui in Haryana's Bhiwani. Next, Uttar Pradesh first anti-air pollution tower inaugurated in the Noida. Okay, this is first anti-air pollution tower. Okay, so it will absorb all the pollution from the air. It will give the good air. Okay, so that is anti-air pollution tower. So it got recently inaugurated in the Noida. So Noida is located in the Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so this is Uttar Pradesh first anti-air pollution tower. Next, Telangana's Pochampalli village, named among the best tourism villages by United Nations World Tourism Organization. Okay, that is UNWTO. What is UNWTO? United Nations World Tourism Organization. So recently our state's village, that is Telangana's Pochampalli village. Okay, so Telangana's Pochampalli village named among the best tourism villages. So a lot of different villages are there in the UNWTO. So this is recently added one, that is Pochampalli. It is located in the Telangana. Okay, so this is named as the best tourism village by the UNWTO. Okay. So next, Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi dedicated to the nation various developmental projects in the Mahoba district of Uttar Pradesh with cumulative cost of more than rupees 3,250 crore rupees related to the elevating the issue of water shortage in the region. Okay, for the water shortage purpose, to mitigate that issue, Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi dedicated to the nation's various developmental projects in the Uttar Pradesh district. So what is the name of that district? Mahoba. Okay, so they have given up to the 3,250 crore rupees for the various developmental projects. Those projects are related to the issue of water shortage, because those district is suffering from the water shortage issue. To mitigate that, they have come up with lot of development schemes. Okay, so next, Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone of 600 megawatt Okay, 600 megawatt ultra mega solar power park at the Garodha in Jhansi. So where is Jhansi located? In which state? Anybody? Where is Jhansi? Which state? Let me know in the comment section. You know, right? Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai and all. So where is Jhansi located? Which state of India? Think about it and let me know in the comment section. Okay. So recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone for the 600 megawatt ultra mega solar power park. Okay. At the Gaurata in Jhansi. Constructed at the cost of over 3,000 crore rupees. And inaugurated the Atal Ekta Park in Jhansi, named after the former Prime Minister Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Okay, so to remember this, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, they have named the Atal Ekta Park. That too also in the Jhansi only. Okay, so remember these two. Jhansi is in Jharkhand. Think about it. Okay. So remember this, very important. 600 megawatt ultra mega solar park. Where it is located? In the Jhansi, Gaurata. That is very important. Okay. Next, Maharashtra government appoints the Salman Khan as COVID vaccination ambassador. Yes, Tejashwini, right? UP. Maharashtra government appoints the Salman Khan as COVID vaccination ambassador. Okay, so that is issue. So next we move on to the appointment section. Different appointments have happened in November month. Let's see one by one. Rajiv Srivatsa appointed as the CEO of Standard Chartered Securities. Okay, so recently Rajiv Srivatsa appointed as the CEO of Standard Chartered Securities. So next, Professor Bimal Patel of India elected to the International Law Commission for 5-year term from January 1st, 2023. So very important. Okay, Professor Bimal Patel, very important. Remember his name. Bimal Patel of India elected to the International Law Commission. That is ILC, International Law Commission. What is the term? 5-year term. So that is going to start from January 1st, 2023. Okay, so this person recently has been appointed to the International Law Commission. So next, Satya Narayan Pradhan appointed as the Director General of Narcotics Control Bureau. So very important, NCB. Okay, Narcotics Control Bureau. So who is recently appointed as the Director General? Satya Narayan Pradhan. Okay, so he is appointed as the DG of National Control Bureau. Next, Daniel Brühl appointed as the Goodwill Ambassador by UN World Food Program. So here UN means United Nations. So United Nations World Food Program. Who is what is the name of that person? Daniel Brühl. So they have recently appointed as the Goodwill Ambassador for UNWFP. Next, Fumio Kishida. Okay, so Fumio Kishida re-elected as the Japan's Prime Minister. Next, Amway India appoints the Amitabh Bachchan as brand ambassador. Okay. Next, Rahul Dravid roped in as the brand ambassador of kids footwear brand Plato. So these things are not important. You can remember. You just have to have an idea. Okay. Pramod Chandra Modi appointed as the new Secretary General of Rajya Sabha. So very important. Okay. Who is the Secretary General of Rajya Sabha? Pramod Chandra Modi. Okay, so Pramod Chandra Modi appointed as the new Secretary General of Rajya Sabha. Center extend the Sanjay Kumar Mishra's tenure as ED Director for 1 year till November 2022. Okay, so what is ED here? Anybody? What is ED? It's a very important entity, right? What is ED? Enforcement Directorate. Okay, so remember, Enforcement Directorate. So Center extends the Sanjay Kumar Mishra's tenure as ED Director for the next 1 year. Okay, for 1 year till November 2022. Then India re-elected to the UNESCO's Executive Board for 4-year term of the office from 2021 to 2025 with the 164 votes. So there will be the elections for the UNESCO's Executive Board. Okay, so India was already the member of this UNESCO's Executive Board. So again, India re-elected as the UNESCO's Executive Board, member as the UNESCO's Executive Board for the term of 4 years. Okay, so that is from 2021 to 2025. So it won this member seat from 164 votes. Okay, so 164 votes are given to the India. Okay. So next we study the conferences, different conference they were in the news. President Ramnath Kovind addresses the 51st Conference of Governors and Lieutenant Governors at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. Okay, so this is the 51st Conference of the Governors and Lieutenant Governors. So what is the difference between governor and lieutenant governor? Anybody let me know in the comment section. Who are governors and who are lieutenant governors? Anybody? In India, governors are also there, lieutenant governors are also there, right? What is the difference between them? Anybody? This is a very basic thing you must know. India already have governors, okay? India already have lieutenant governors. So what is the difference between them? See, governors exist in the states. Clearly listen. See, governors exist in the states, while the lieutenant governors or administrator, they exist in the union territories. That is the main difference. Okay, Delhi, Puducherry, all these union territories are there, no? For them, it is called as administrator or lieutenant governors. Like other states like Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, for them, it is the state status will be governor. That is the main difference. Okay, so governors exist in the states, while lieutenant governors they exist in the union territories of India. So recently, the 51st conference of these governors and lieutenant governors happened at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in the New Delhi. Okay. Next, PM Modi virtually inaugurates the 82nd All India Presiding Officers Conference, that is AIPOC, okay, in Shimla. So recently, our Prime Minister Modi virtually inaugurates the 82nd All India Presiding Officer Conference that happened in the Shimla. Next, PM Modi virtually delivers the keynote address at the Sydney Dialogue 2021 on the theme India's Technology Evolution and Revolution. This is important. The theme is important. Okay, so PM Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, recently virtually delivers the keynote address at the Sydney Dialogue 2021. So in examination, the question will come like this. The Sydney Dialogue 2021. So what is the theme of that? So remember, India's technology evolution and revolution. That is the theme. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. Next, we move on to the defense section. Indian Navy commissions the 4th Scorpion class submarine INS Vela. Okay, remember this is the Scorpion class submarine. So this is the 4th Scorpion class submarine. So it is constructed at the Majgaon Dock, okay, Shipbuilders Limited. So that is MDL, Mumbai, in collaboration with the Naval Group France. Okay, so MS Naval Group France. So remember INS Vela is the Scorpion class submarine. So next, the navies of India and France carries out the 6th edition of biennial training exercise. So what is the name of the exercise? Exercise Shakti 2021. I told you, whenever the exercise comes in news, you need to remember what is the name of the exercise and which countries are participating in it. Okay, so here name is Exercise Shakti. Which countries are following in that, participating in that? The navies of India and the France. Okay, so navies of India and France. So this is the 6th edition of the biennial training exercise, Exercise Shakti 2021 from November 15 to 26. So that happened in Fréjus, France. Okay. Next, Raksha Mantri Sri Rajnath Singh inaugurated the first operationalized private sector defense manufacturing facility in the Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh Defense Industrial Corridor, that is UPDIC in Lucknow. The facility will be run by the Airloy Technologies, a wholly owned subsidiary of PTC Industries Limited. So here you need to remember this is the first operationalized private sector defense manufacturing facility. Okay, so here private sector come, they invest in that particular thing, they will manufacture the defense equipments. Such facilities has been developed in the Uttar Pradesh Defense Industrial Corridor, that is in the Lucknow. Okay, so this facility will be run by the Airloy Technologies. It's very important, Airloy Technologies. It is the wholly owned subsidiary of PTC Industry Limited. That is also one of the entity. Okay, so next 32nd edition of India Thailand Coordinate Patrol, that is Indo-Thai Corpet, What is CORPAT? Coordinated Patrol. Okay, that is conducted from November 12 to 14, 2021 in the Andaman Sea. So in examination, they will ask the question, okay, Indo-Thai CORPAT happened between which two countries? So that is India and Thailand. By the name only you can understand. So this is the 32nd edition of India-Thailand Coordinated Patrol. Okay, that was conducted in the Andaman Sea. Next, India, Singapore, and Thailand. So very important, remember, India, Singapore, and Thailand. It is the trilateral maritime exercise, that is SITMEX. Okay, SITMEX 21, held in the Andaman Sea. Indian naval ship INS Karmul participated in the third edition from the India. So I told you, whenever exercise comes, you need to remember the country's name as well as the exercise name. So here it is SITMEX. S for Singapore, I for India, T for Thailand. Okay, and M for marine exercise, ME for marine exercise. By the name only you can understand. SITMEX 21. Which all are the participating countries in that exercise? India, Singapore, Thailand. So this was held in the Andaman Sea recently, and Indian side, the naval ship Karmul. Okay, it was participated in the third edition from India. Okay, so that you need to remember. Next, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurates the 3-day long Rashtra Raksha Sampran Parva. Okay, so Rashtra Raksha Samarpan Parva in the Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so I asked you, right, where is the Jhansi? It is in the Uttar Pradesh. Tejaswini given the right answer. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh dedicates the renovated Rajangla Memorial to the nation at Chunsul in Ladakh. You can see in the picture. This is the Rajangla Memorial. This is for the soldiers. Okay, so remember, this is the Rajangla Memorial. Where it is located? It is located in the Ladakh. Okay, in examination, they will ask Rajangla Memorial located in which state or which union territory. Okay, so you need to remember it is in the Ladakh. It is for the soldiers. Okay. Next, we move on to the books and authors section. So here book name and author name are given. So book name, Sunrise over Ayodhya. Okay, so very interesting. Sunrise over Ayodhya. So it is written by Salman Khurshid. Next, Nehru, the debates that defined India. Okay, so the book name is Nehru, the debates that defined India. Okay, it is written by Tripur Daman Singh and Adil Hussain. Okay, so Tripur Daman Singh and Adil Hussain. Next, Unshackling India, Hard Truths and Clear Choices for Economic Revival. Okay, it is written by the Ajay Chibber and Salman Anij Soj. Next, The Disruptor. Okay, the book name is The Disruptor, How Vishwanath Pratap Singh Shook India. So this is written by the Debashish Mukherjee. Okay, so here this book is important. Sunrise over Ayodhya is written by the Salman Khurshid. Okay, and Nehru also important. Nehru, the debates that define India. It is by the Tripur Daman Singh and Adil Hussain. Okay, so these are some 4 books which were in news. So next we move on to the ranking section. So here index name are given and what is the India's rank in that particular index and which one is the top country, then publishing organization. So here only one index was in news, that is Global Business Bribery Risk Ranking. Okay, so what is the name? Global Business Bribery Risk Rankings of 2021. In that index, India ranks at 82nd position and the top country is Denmark. And which is the publishing organization of that index? That is Trace International. Okay, so Trace International was the publishing authority of Global Business Bribery Risk Ranking. Okay, so India's ranking is not that good. Okay, so it is at the position of 82nd. Top country, you need to remember, it is Denmark. Okay, so what is the publishing organization? Trace International. These 4 points are important. So next we move on to the sports news. India's first physical National Yogasana Championship organized in the Bhubaneswar, Odisha. So this is very important because it is India's first physical National Yogasana Championship. So this was organized in the Bhubaneswar. It is located in the Odisha. Okay. So next, Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic beat the Daniil Medvedev to win the 2021 Paris Masters title. So whenever the sports news comes in news, you need to remember only the Indian aspects. Okay, so you don't need to remember the foreign things. You need to remember the India's. Okay, Next, West Indies all-rounder Van Bravo retires from the international cricket. Okay. Next, Australia defeat the New Zealand to win their maiden T20 World Cup. So here, player of the match is given to the Mitchell Marsh from the Australia. Next, player of the tournament is given to the David Warner, Australia. Then leading run scorer in the tournament, Babar Azam, with the 303 runs. He is from Pakistan. Next, highest wicket taker is given to the Wanindu Hasaranga with 16 wickets. He is from Sri Lanka. Okay, so these are the different titles given. So one is player of the match, player of the tournament, leading run scorer in the tournament, and highest wicket taker. Okay, so here this one is important. India's first physical national Yogasana championship organized in the Odisha in the Bhubaneswar. That you need to remember. Okay, so next we move on to the international news. So very important international news. So one is SpaceX launches the Indian origin astronaut Rajachari led the Crew 3 mission to ISS. So what is ISS here? What is ISS? Anybody? What is ISS? International Space Station. Okay. You have to remember that International Space Station. So recently this SpaceX launches the Indian origin astronaut. His name is Rajachari. Okay. So along with the Rajachari, other three members are there. Other three crew members are there. So these 4 members are going to the ISS, that is International Space Station. Okay. So it consists of 4 astronauts. So this is launched by the SpaceX. Who is the founder of SpaceX? Anybody? Who is the founder of SpaceX? That is important. Such question will come in examination. Who is the founder of SpaceX? Elon Musk. How can you forget? Okay, Elon Musk, richest person of the world. Okay, Elon Musk. So this, somebody is telling something. Okay, Tejashmi, right? Elon Musk. So SpaceX launched the India origin astronaut Rajachari along with him 3 crew member mission to the International Space Station. And the founder of SpaceX is Elon Musk. Don't forget. Next, World Bank and ADB. So what is ADB? In the last current affairs also we studied ADB. What is the long form of ADB? So World Bank and ADB launches the We Power India to increase the women workforce in the energy sector. So here what is ADB? What is ADB?